Gotham is yours. None shall interfere. Do as you please.
So we have a huge leak from CinemaCon 2022. The Batman. There was kind of a new trailer shown off. And yes, in my opinion, it is a leak because it's not available to the public. It is for professionals that attend the CinemaCon event. So anyone that is posting about it, it is a leak. You can't have double standards in this world, can you? No. So it is a leak, but it's cool. We've got some Batman 2022 to get hype for. So yo, what is good, YouTube? Warstu here. If you are new around here, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the videos. Check us out on Instagram at Warstu. Check us out on Twitter, WarstuG, aka WarstuG. So, as you know, we got the huge Spider-Man No Way Home leak that came out a day before the official trailer. And no, that wasn't actually planned at all. That was a real leak. But Warner Bros. Were also at the CinemaCon and they debuted some new footage for the Batman for June or Dune. Also, amongst other things, they also showed off The Matrix Resurrection, aka The Matrix 4. So this article is written by Brandon Davis, who I actually really like. I think he's one of the best people in the industry. And although I do have a bit of tongue-in-cheek sometimes on Twitter, I think he's a cool guy. So he had this to say. A frontrunner to be the most highly anticipated film of 2022, The Batman brought an extended behind-the-scenes look to CinemaCon, which played only for the crowd in attendance. In the footage, director Matt Reeves opened up about his intimate approach to the DC Comics icon. As dark, grungy, as beautiful footage took the screen, so it's a leak. Well, it's kind of a leak. If you spoke about something that was only for people in attendance, it is kind of a leak because, as I said, it's not public knowledge stuff, but it is a leak. The featurette opened up with Bruce Wayne walking to the tone of piano music from Michael. For some reason, Batman has always stood to as one of the major characters of the 20th century. The film stars Robert Pattinson explains we see him in the cowl, removing it, and tones of the film are heavily black and grey, remained dark and appearing hopeless. Reeves promises that this radical different version of the Batman movies how we haven't seen anything grounding it the way Year One does, Reeves explains. Director bills this is not as the origin story, but it's Batman in the early days filled with rage and learning his way. Meanwhile, footage shows Batman ruthlessness beating up goons in what could be a dark prison set lit only by alarming color of red. Explosion, police officers, and dark chaos fills out the footage. This sounds pretty darn freaking cool, to be honest. He's really working out the rage, Patterson said. All the fights seem very personal. He uses various weapons, pipes, including to beat down the enemies. We could get to see a first look at Andy Serkis as Alfred, a classy-looking gentleman wearing a vest over his button-down shirt, possibly with a drink in one hand for a brief shot. Other highlights include the Batmobile driving with flames. That's going to be cool to see. Coming from its exhaust, seeing it rip through the streets in an exciting fashion. We can't wait to see the Batman in theaters next year. Reeves concludes this leads to a very slightly updated version of the original trailer from 2020 DC Fandom event, available here. Taken it. The screen was a bit more action involved. Catwoman, a red 2022 slate at the end, and a voiceover from Riddler. You're a part of this too, Bruce. Responds over the dark screen with a question. Am I a part of this? You'll see. It was awesome. So yeah, that's a pretty cool description. Dark and gritty. Sounds freaky savage, bro. And it's got the Twitter sphere talking about it, which is pretty cool. Matt Reeves promises an emotional Batman movie like we've never seen before, which is interesting. I always think it's interesting when people leak stuff like this and it comes out because it's not public knowledge. So in my humble opinion, and I've been covering this stuff for like 4 years, maybe 5 years now, it is a leak. So to speak, not quite on the Spider-Man level. What's interesting, if you look at the Twitter numbers, is No Way Home hit 34.2 million and the Batman hit 26.5 million. But to be fair, that's an unbiased and it's unfair because with Spider-Man, you have literally every Spider-Man character coming into it, and the Batman is just the Batman. It's not got a bunch of supporting actors in it, which, you know, delegates away from the rest of the movie. But Spider-Man will do better than the Batman, presumably because of the supporting actors. But the Batman doesn't come out to 2022, so we don't know which is gonna do better. It is interesting. It really is interesting. And it's also interesting how other people broke down what they seen differently. In another interview, it opened up with what looked like chaos. Robert Pattinson walking through Gotham from there. He arrived theorizes and reads prompts an emotional movie. So it seems that combat.com was there. Screen Rant had words to chime in, which is cool, but they all hit this emotional Batman like you've never. Bruce Wayne, Batfleck was as emotional as you can get, bros. What are you on about? What are you on about? According to Screen Rant, they added their take. The superhero will be radically different from any other iteration we've seen. Reese also added the forthcoming movies, not an origin. Okay, pretty much the same thing. Why is everyone breaking down the same thing? Attendance also got a closer look fight between Robert Pattinson's Batman and Zoe Kravett's Catwoman that he had been teased in the last trailer last year. Cool. Andy Serkis, Alfred, classic. The Lord of the Rings actor donned a classical vest and had white hair. So that's a slightly different tidbit. And yes, that mentions the Batmobile as well. That's freaking cool. So that wasn't the only movie there. Dune, however you pronounce it, was also there. Matrix for the Resurrection was there. And that sounds pretty damn cool as well, guys. So it is interesting how this information is okay, it's not breaking, but guys, it's on like literally in the middle of the night in America. You guys are like, yo, Warstu, you are late. Guys, I'm never late. I'm never late. The problem I have is it literally happens at like 2, 3, 4, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm from a different country, so it's like the middle of the night. So yeah, that's why sometimes I don't get on these stories instantly. But as I've got over 100,000 subscribers now, which in the relatively speaking format isn't that many, but I tend to kind of do stuff when I want to at my own leisure, which is interesting. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at Warstu, Twitter, WarstuG. I do cover a lot of other stuff, but there hasn't really been much the Batman news to talk about except for hypothesizing and theorizing, and we haven't had any trailers since DC Fandom event, which is cool. Also, someone else at the event had this to say: they showed a new Batman trailer at CinemaCon. It looks like The Dark Knight meets Joker. It looks like a very dark and gritty, angry film, which is totally my jam when it comes to superhero movies. I think the fans are going to freak out when they see this trailer, so we're going to get this trailer most likely at DC Fandom events, most likely. Okay, I'm not confirming it, but yeah, the description's out there. I presume it's not much different, probably 20 to 40 seconds new footage, but it is cool that we have the Spider-Man No Way Home coming potentially later this year. Let's be honest, it's probably not coming later this year, but we've got Batman coming in 2022. That is going to be freaking cool. I can't wait to see his Batmobile shredding through Gotham and Bruce Wayne shredding through Gotham, just smashing these villains, these enemies. It's going to be freaking sick, bro. It really will be cool. So like always, guys, let me know what you think. I know a lot of people don't like me because I am straight talking. I'm a straight talker. I say what I think what I mean, and all that kind of good stuff. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at Warstu. I keep plugging that because you guys don't follow me there, and I will catch you in another video, guys. But if you do want me to cover any other kind of content, then just let me know what you want me to cover, and I will get by and do that, because there isn't really much news to talk at the moment outside of this CinemaCon stuff. And like always, guys, I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch ya later.